Well, hey there, pretty kitties, and welcome to Mizzy Cat Gaming. First, before we do anything else, we have to deal with Hermes. Hermes is grumpy, and he's getting into things he should not, so Hermes should come sit with me. So, we're gonna get Hermes to come over here and sit with me so that he is not a huge grumpy butt the whole time I'm trying to do something. Squawks McGee. Come here, son. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Hermes has been delivered to my lap. He is now resting comfortably, not being a grumpus, not being agitated. He's purring, so he is very happy. All right. Now he is settled. So now we can get into what we were going to get into today. Today, we are returning to the quest for the dress. Um, yes, I have a list. I have made a list of all of the dresses that we are going to go after today. But the very first one is this one because, of course, this is the first one. And I've decided what I'm going to do is I have my mount that will let me change my appearance on the fly. So if it's somewhere I can mount up, I'll do it immediately, or else I'll do it after I teleport. But every time we get one of our dresses, we will change our appearance so that we're wearing that dress or a really cool staff. Until we get another one, and then we'll change it again. So it'll be easy to tell what I have been successful at today and what I have not been successful at, depending on how long the dress is unchanged. And I am not counting any drops for dresses that are not specifically the dress drops I'm after. Gotta moderate it somehow. Okay, so AQ. Yep, AQ. Gotta do AQ. Here we go. I have a big list, and some of the locations we're going to today are the same as previous locations that we have been to before. Um, but we didn't get dress drops in there, and some of them we did not go to them. Hit my unicorn. We didn't go to them on this character. We went on Mizzy Cat, who wears leather, and that is not the same as Star with her claws. So, really? Alright. You know, I was gonna let them live. It's apparently my mistake. So, okay, current acts. Investments in the shifting sands. This is the big one. Everything else will be just the cherry on top if we can get this today. Because this is the dress. This is the one we really want. So, drop it. Do it. Excuse me. Don't interrupt me. I'm having a moment. Okay. No. Absolutely not. Fine. Fine. Alright. We are teleporting to Stormwind because we are starting in Blackrock Mountain, and we are starting with... Excuse me. I am attempting to do something. Thank you. Now, we are teleporting to Blackrock Mountain because the first place we're going to go is going to be Blackrock Depths. And Blackrock Depths is really long. Blackrock Depths is really fucking long. So, we're going to run the whole thing because the dress that we want drops off the last boss. Of course it does. After that, we will go to Blackwing Lair, which we have done on stream before. And then I have to make a decision because I have a dress on the list, but it's a zone drop in Molten Core. And it wouldn't be bad to do Molten Core. As you can see, especially this particular character, does not have all of the Arcanist regalia. So, like, and other than the bindings, which is a world drop, which I probably have somewhere actually, the rest of these are boss drops. So, I mean, that's something that we could get, but I don't know. I am on the fence about that. So, but we are going to be running Blackrock Depths, so A, that's going to take a million years, and B, we are going to run Loot Appraiser while we're doing that, because we could very likely get something that is worth something to sell. She says, knowing full well that she has not actually started selling any of the drops that she's gotten yet, and she actually needs to do that. It's fine. We'll take care of that. That'll be alright. Okay. Life is so much easier when Hermes is not agitated. He is such a grump. He has one black whisker. And I think that and it's growing back right now, so I think it fell out, and I think that's where it's like the thing that suppresses his grumpies is his black whisker. So his black whisker fell out, so he turned into the grumpiest old man in the world, and now he's starting to calm down again a little bit, maybe. Not really. All right. Oh, I will say, when it comes to Blackrock Depths, if you don't do pet battling, first of all, if you play World of Warcraft and you don't do pet battling, I recommend that you do it because it's super fun. And I am biased. Whoop, right into a box. I'm very biased. Yep. I am very biased, but I think it is super fun. If you do pet battling, the Blackrock Depths pet dungeon is super fun, and it gives one of the best titles, I think, in the game, which is Minion of Mayhem. Fantastic title. I use it on my shaman. So, and that's the pet battle guy is right over there, and all that kind of good stuff. So, okay. We are going to try to not kill all of the trash in this dungeon, because if we kill all of the trash in this dungeon, we will never have space in our bags again. So what we'll end up doing, because this is the way I always do it, I will go into the main area, go down to the interrogator, and then I will do the ring for the ring of law and around the edges. Then Baelgar, and then we'll keep going. I will do all of the things. I have a tendency to be very thorough when it comes to this dungeon. And I already know that it's going to be the Nerubian that's going to spawn. Excuse me. I already know that it's going to be the Nerubian that spawns in the Ring of Law, because it has to drop the Carapace, which is the chest piece that I cannot get to drop for plate wearers that come through here no matter what I do. So I know that's going to drop. I'm already prepared for it mentally. There are, if I was out farming money today, it would not be a bad idea to do it in here. There are weapon appearances and things like that that can sell for a decent amount, and then I would clear all trash. But no. Okay. Mail and already collected offhand. Bleh. this way. Oh, bonus objectives. Oh, well. Alright, let's see. Yep. Go that way first. We'll see if we can get rock ore. I was gonna see if I could get him before I went into the halls, if he was close, but we'll just do the Ring of Law real quick. Well, I mean, it won't be real quick because they're gonna talk. Hello. How are you today? Alright. I have been sentenced to death for crimes and the da-da-da-da. Blah, 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 blah. But I perish in the ring. Okay, whatever. Yada, yada, yada. Nobody cares. uh, there's very few fights in the game that just feel very like a slog. This is one of them. And it's only because I've done it so many times. Yeah, I saw the pictures that you guys had strike today. You know what? Stop running away from me. I hate spiders in any way. I'm good. I'm good. Ooh, sweet. I'm going to actually, yeah, we can talk about this. It's close enough. So, in the month of May, my schedule is actually going to expand. I know that we've been talking about how I have a YouTube series running. By the way, I have a YouTube series running called Cozy Grove. Oh, look, it's the spider boss. Hold on a second. There we go. Not gonna look at that thing in the face. Oh, look. Plate chess pieces. 2 of them that I don't have. Rude. Hi. So, the month of, yeah, May starts at the end of the week, yeah. Obviously. And so for the month of May, and beyond, I'm gonna, yeah, I'm going to be, expanding my schedule. So there's going to actually be 2 new YouTube series. They're probably going to start around the beginning of May. And they're going to be alternating. So they will upload every other day. And I'm adding a stream. The stream that I will be adding. Oh, and all of my streams will be 3 hours. And that change has been slowly happening, so I'm going to change the schedule. But all of my streams will be 3 hours. So I will be adding a stream on Fridays, and I'm probably going to start that this Friday. Decent stuff. And the Friday evening stream will be pretty late for East Coast. It'll be from 7 to 10 Pacific. So it'll definitely be a late night stream for most of my viewers. But it will be a chill stream, and we'll play House Flipper. It will be the Friday night chill stream, and it will be House Flipper. Because I like House Flipper. Oh, geez. Yeah. Because I like House Flipper. So I wanted to have a time, when I can just sit and play House Flipper and be chill about it. Oh, there he is. No, that's yeah, okay. Come, doggies. You're so angry. Yes. Goodbye. So many appearances that I don't know. It's fine. It just means I have to run this again on every armor class and weapon type, category, whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna be expanding my schedule and gonna be offering more content. If you're not super into Cozy Grove, I'm going to be recording the 2 series that are going to go up. One of them is a point-and-click adventure detective game. So that's going to be a little bit more in my avenue of what I usually play when I'm just playing by myself. And then the other one is actually an RPG that I've had for quite some time that is still kind of in early access, but it's a rolling beta slash they make upgrades all the time to the game, and it's called Secrets of Grindia. So that's more of an RPG, and it's I've played a little bit of it before, but not a lot. It's very fun, and it has a good humor. It has my type of humor that I like. So yeah, if you're not super into Cozy Grove, I'm gonna be playing things that are not the same as Cozy Grove. And then of course House Flipper. Fridays will still be kind of a free play, test out, see what we can test kind of day in the afternoons. But the evening will more than likely always be House Flipper. There's lots and lots of content in House Flipper. And I can I can actually play that up until the new DLC comes out. Maybe the pets one. I'm not huge into the pets idea. It feels like The Sims, and then they're gonna release a luxury house DLC. I'll be playing that. So, House Flipper, and then if we get sick of House Flipper, Sims, because I play a lot of Sims. Even though playing the Sim, watching me play the Sims is like watching me stage manage a production in my own head. Like it's how it works when I'm doing something and I have to focus because I micromanage my sim to the point where she has no cognizant thoughts of her own. I tell her exactly what to do, exactly what, and I like power level her skills. I take perks to specifically manage the fact that I want to learn certain things, and then even if she doesn't like doing something, I make her do it until she's really good at it and she can make money from it. Feels a little rude, um, but it's literally how I've always played The Sims. I don't know how to just let the sim do what it wants ever. It's not a thing that I know how to do. It's she gets up and I let her sleep. Like I tell her when to go to bed, but right, actually the first thing I do is buy the first thing I buy when I move into a new place or whatever. The first thing I buy is a really good stove because even if you're a really garbage chef, um a really good stove is less likely to catch on fire. And the first thing I level usually is cooking um, at the same time as. Oh, perfect. Cooking at the same time as. Oops. Painting. Because painting is a really good way to make early money. Especially in Sims, because it doesn't matter what the paintings are, you just grind them out and sell them. And then as the paintings get better, especially when you take certain traits and stuff, you get up to the point where you're painting masterpieces, and those are just worth huge bank. But I also don't usually give her a job where she's actually painting. I know, right? I don't usually give her a job where she's actually painting for work. Um, her work will be something else. So she works during the day and gets her promotions and levels up her skills and everything else. And then at night, she like paints until she's gonna pass out. And then I put her to bed. We are going. Yeah, that's right. We're going this way because we're gonna go close the doors so that we can go across the bridge because we've killed all this stuff. So we're gonna go close the doors. Um so yeah, Sims is a very chill experience for me because I know exactly what I want my sim to do. And unlike my own life, or really anybody's life, where if you have a bunch of things that you need to get done, and you can be paralyzed with decision, and even when you want to get things done, you don't have control over every factor, so some things just don't happen, and it makes you very sad. The Sims does not work that way. If I want my Sim to do something, she is going to do that thing, and nothing is going to prevent it, which is cathartic, really. It's very relaxing to be like, this is the thing I want, I can make this happen. Done. All about the little things. Ah, yeah, right? Oh, and your boy is with me today. He was being a super grump earlier, so I had to make sure that I made room in my lap for Mega Grumpy Boy, because he is not having not being in Mom's lap. So, he's not even sleeping. He's just like licking his feet. I'm like, can you just go to bed? Because he keeps driving his cat elbow into my leg. Yeah. Okay. General Anger Force. Boop. Boop. So many drops. I mean, Hermes is always rude to Mom. So many drops. We can't wear any of them. This is our life. This is the life of trying to get transmog. But I mean, it's okay, first of all. And secondly, it's still okay. Because none of these bosses matter. This is all extra stuff, right? It's stabs, it's extra shoes if I haven't collected them, you know. But some of these things I have collected because I don't think I've come in here on this character, but I know I've run Wings of Blackrock Depths when I'm leveling. So I know. I am aware that I know many of the appearances in here already, but it doesn't matter because we don't know the dress. So that's what we're after. Quest for the dress. Hashtag quest for the dress. We gotta find all the dresses. And I kind of just started at the bottom. And I worked from, I know, right? I'm really bad today. It's okay. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, because that's just me taking up personal space, and you're not supposed to apologize for that. My therapist says so. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to get the guy drunk? Do we want to... Oh, no, my therapist is amazing. My therapist is amazing. Hashtag therapy is good for you. Hashtag you should not stigmatize mental health. Hashtag you should see a therapist if you think you need a therapist. Yeah, no, my therapist is an amazing lady. And I'm a lot better about not apologizing for taking up space, which is good. Oh, Hermes has left, and now he's yelling on the other side of the room because he's, again, he's a butt. So, we're gonna buy some ale here. We're gonna buy ale. That's fine. And then we're gonna go over here. I never remember how many we're supposed to buy, if it's all of it or not, so we just do it. Talk to this guy. Give him some beer. Get him drunk, get him drunk, get him drunk. Get drunk. There you go. Oh, by the way, we're waiting until after we get Flanix going, and then we're gonna kill Plugger. Because we have to kill Plugger because we have to kill Plugger. Plugger's a boss. We have to kill Plugger. I theoretically should have done Hurley before I did Flanix, but yeah, whatever. Violence, property damage. Alright, that's active. And we'll go down here. And we'll be like, hey, Ribley, you're good for nothing. And then we do that. And then we do that. You know, this was really important back in the day. Oh, and now the Fireguard Destroyer and... Oh, this... If you had done this, like, as a current thing, when this is current, or when you're leveling, if you did something like this, this would be just suicidal. This is not, you know. But, I mean, it's me, so... Yep. Okay. Nope. Oh, excuse me. Oh, everybody's mad now. That's better. And now to make all of them mad, well, actually first, can you buy all this junk in my bags? Okay. Thanks. Oh, look. Goblin jumper cables. Ah.
It's too far away.
Yeah, we're not trying to sit down. It's okay. Alright, so now the door's open. Murdered all the things. Okay, that's great. Go this way. That's the, yeah. So that's the mole machine. Back to the front. We need to go this way. This is a very confusing instance, by the way. Unless you've run it, like, 4,000 times, like I have. Because... Ooh. That's new. Oh, it's just fire on my head. Oh. Okay, that's amazing. Didn't even know that was an option. Fantastic. Super great. So I, spent a lot of time farming pets because there are bosses in here that drop pets and stuff like that. Alright. So let's go this way. Go around the top part. Oh, the rare is in here. Cool. Go ahead and do that. Moon of the Earth. Wow, two-handed sword. Pretty rude game. Well, that's actually pretty nice. I like the darkness as it goes toward the hilt. I'll have to try and remember that. See if I can bring somebody in here who can actually learn it. Alright. This is another fight that takes far longer than it should. But I mean, when it was current, you didn't want this fight to be fast because that would be a disaster. I've challenged the 7. And now I will die. Just go ahead and... we go. A mace I have collected and a axe I have not. Okay. So you will notice that I skipped the Pyromancer and the Warder. The Pyromancer does have a staff that I don't have, but I would have had to do a bunch of other stuff to go and take care of that. So we're just gonna not. Alright. We're almost there. I'm gonna run up to here. Take all these with me. Because these just respawn, so... And you can't loot any of them. Oh wait, I need the, where are you at? There you are. I need the torch. Thank you. So, let's go over here. Go ahead and do this. Oh, I'm being shot at. There we go. Okay, that's one torch. Really funny to come in on LFR, like LFG, like with people that haven't done the instance and they didn't do it back in the day before it was split into sections, and you come in here and people don't know how to get the doors open. And you have to get the flames to open the doors. Unless they've changed it and you don't have to have the flames anymore, you can just click the things, but that seems a little silly. Where's that other flame thrower? So I'm pretty sure you do have to have the torches. That's something I could easily check, but... They may have made it so that it's only one torch now. But I think that's not accurate. I don't know. Let me check. Oh, yeah. No. You still need both. There he is. There you go. Turn back or face your doom. The flames in this room are super dangerous. Because these dudes shoot flame jets. Also a fight that's really terrible in a group where people don't know how to do it. Mail. Leather. Okay. Now there are many drop, like, zone drops in here. I'm not gonna worry about them. And there's the guy. The guy that has the dress that we want for this particular instance. He's dead. And that is not Moira anymore because Moira is in flippin' Ironforge. So he dropped the mace. Don't have the mace. Would like to have the mace. The maces. Let's see here. That's the mace. The mace is amazing. Actually wish this had dropped on somebody I could learn it, but that's okay. And then he dropped his scepter, which is pretty sure. Yeah, it's an offhand that I had already collected. But that mace is, yeah. Okay. Um so actually, um I need to take a second. And I'm going to have to, so because I am not like, cuz it takes a hot minute to leave this, I'm going to teleport to Stormwind and then put myself on a flight path to Blackrock. So, because I need to take a minute and step away from the computer, and then that way I'm still moving. Because next we do Blackwing Layer, and if it had been Molten Core next, I would have just stepped into Molten Core and then whatever. But I'm not sold on doing Molten Core, and that's why I decided to not do that because we have another instance that we haven't done before on the docket for today that is long. Um, so we're gonna need to make sure we leave ourselves time for that particular instance. Let's see here.
King's honor, friend.
We want thorium point is fine. Okay. So, give me just a minute and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Taking care of the various cat things. The cats have been very spicy lately. They are very much, the natives are restless. So, sometimes they fight. Not terribly fight, they just snip at each other. So, I think I'm gonna have to look into calming stuff or something. I don't know. Thunder shirts. Wait, I already have a thunder shirt for everybody in the house. I'll just have to actually put them in them. Huh. By the way, and this is completely off topic from anything that I was talking about, but if you have a dog, cats somewhat, definitely dogs. If you have a dog that is scared of thunderstorms and fireworks and all of those loud pop pop noises, I cannot recommend the thunder shirt enough. Used to have a dog, a lovely, sweet dog named Raven. God rest her soul. And um, she was terrified of thunderstorms and all that kind of stuff. Thunder shirt, put her in a thunder shirt. She grew out of it, and I should have gotten her a bigger one, but I didn't. But when it fit her, it worked like a charm. And I can say that the cats become very mellow when I put them in thunder shirts. It's pretty great. Okay, so here we are again, Blackwing Lair. We all know it. We all love it. Quote unquote. We'll go ahead and take care of this gem.
I don't have a target.
Let's see, it's this one. There we go. It's so fast. It's so fast. Such a fast process. Took me a second to remember which button it was though, so it might take a minute. I will say that before I started farming on the druid, I only farmed on my mage. Simply because Arcane Explosion is just really fun. I actually really like being Arcane on my mage. It's not necessarily the meta, but I enjoy it. A lot of mages don't enjoy it because it's kind of simple. I mean, the rotation, it's not simple as in the difficulty is low. It's simple as in the rotation can be kind of boring, I have heard. I don't feel that way, but I have heard from other people that they feel that way. So, okay. What you got from me? Pet. It's the Untamed Hatchling. No appearances. Super rude. Oh, what is... Oh, I have this one. Yeah, this is a really cool sword that drops from this guy. If you don't have this sword, you should come get it, because it's really cool. I like it. It's very clean looking, and I really enjoy that. It's a very good piece of Mog. Let's move this over a little bit. Okay. Forward. There are two...
You are persistent.
There are two different...
Your ally here at matches power against mine.
There are two different dresses that drop in this particular
Now he shall serve me by
raid.
slaughtering
One of them drops from Fire Maw, which is one of the dragons that are flying around after the slow imps. Or the slow drakes. And then the other one is from Nefarian.
Too late, friends.
Let's see, I need to check off my list here, or I need to note. Because they're gonna talk for a second, so.
Flee before I lose all sense of control.
Okay, there we go.
I must release it.
Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Flame, death, destruction.
I think the problem that I have with some of these moments
5,
of dialogue
4, 3,
is
2, 1.
that they're spaced strangely. Like when he's ranting right there, like there should not be a 5-second pause between the line and then the next line. It feels strange. Like it just feels weird. Also, I very okay. The only ones that okay, I don't have that, but I haven't gone transmog farming on my shaman, so at least I got things that I already had. There is a piece that I'm missing from my paladin set in here, and it's the only piece I'm missing from this particular instance. Yeah. Zone drop shoes. We don't really care about that. We will kill things as we run across them, and if we get the shoes, we get the shoes. Okay. Just kind of running through. This feels broken. It does not feel like I should be able to do this. I'm so used to not being able to do this, but this is very strange to me right now. Many, many whelps. Oh, we learned a thing. That was exciting. I think actually, no. Okay, but we learned an appearance. That's at least something. Let's see. We gotta go this way, around this corner, and then we get into the dragons, and here's the one that first dress possibility. Yes, yes. No. Oh, those are the ones I need. The gloves I need for my paladin. Oh, my heart. Oh, it hurts. Oh, farming transmog. Farming transmog is it's a painful experience. Hurts my soul. It's no good. It's no good. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, right? I see things sometimes when I'm clearing old content. I'm like, you know. No, yeah, fine. It's fine. Oh, look. There's the druid piece that I didn't get last time I was in here on my druid. No, it's fine. I'm not salty. Yet. I will be salty. Ooh. That is a BOE staff. And I could sell it, but I don't have it, and look at it. Excuse me. Yeah, when we leave, we're transmogging to that staff because that's amazing, and I love it. That's the number one rule. Unless I get something that's worth an insane amount of money, I'm just gonna learn it because I need the appearances. Oh geez. Okay, so we got the tier shoulders, and we got a sword mog that I didn't have. I didn't even know that was possible. Oh wow, that's really awesome. It's very space fighter-esque. Like, that's like a space sci-fi kind of thing. I love that. And then we got another Chrominius. I should actually box up the two that I have and donate them to people. That's pretty great though. That was a really good, I didn't get this. Man, I'm gonna have to come back for that. I didn't even know there was a shield in here that I didn't have. So we definitely got a couple of pieces out of here. We didn't necessarily get a dress, but we did get some stuff. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get the dress from Nefarious. Although I did not want this one as much as I wanted the one from Fire Maw, but I will take what I can get. It's okay. There are plenty more dresses to be had today, assuming that they ever drop. But the
Let the games
the quest for the dress will definitely be a regular feature, just because I'm big on transmog. So he's gonna hit me with his stealth. Just gonna wait, because as fun as it is on the druid when everything wants to kill me, it's even more fun on the mage. I just have no patience for, like, whatever. Oh no, we're silenced. There we go, that's better. Had to clear some of that up, it was getting a little crazy. Is he actually... No, okay. So many skeletons. Oh, there he is. Okay, that's better. Alright. He lands. Okay, good. Hello. Goodbye. Alright. Dress? I would just like to point out how many things I got that weren't the dress. This is a priest. This is a priest robe. This is a priest robe. Offensive. I am offend. Ah, look at that. Look at that. So mean. Ugh, cannot. Oh, and, you know, druid headpiece. I know, right? I wish it was that easy. So rude. Okay. Where is my sheet? Where's that number? 3. Ah, okay. So we are going to route through. Is that still there? Yes. Yes? Okay. Stormwind. Because we have spent a lot of time in Classic with all of our classic shenanigans. However, we are now going to go and spend some time in Burning Crusade. So, if you have not spent a lot of time in Burning Crusade, we are going to spend time in Burning Crusade. Think, how do I want to... I didn't really want to do Shat because I forgot that the portal to Hellfire isn't there anymore. I have to remember. I know there's one. There is one. I just don't know where it is. I mean, I can always fly to the Blast Lands. That doesn't matter. We're not that far away from it. All things relatively speaking. Could run in and murder Attunement for the mount. Is there an Honor Hold Mage over there? Well, I will go check because I am not fully committed to flying all the way to the Dark Portal, so. The first area I'm going to is in Hellfire. That's why I don't want to go to Shat, because Hellfire, I'm going all over Outland, but yeah. Oh, is there a... Because there used to be a portal there, but I didn't see it on Star. Maybe it just didn't render in. Honor Hold Mage.
Good day to you.
Oh, yeah.
Safe travel.
There used to just be a portal there. That's why I was confused. Okay, that makes more sense. Here we are. It's Outland. Dark Portal. Spoopy. Oh, so scary. Okay. Oh, by the way, it doesn't matter if we're after a dress. If we see the Fell Reaver, we have to kill it. I don't make these rules. That's the rule. Yeah. Yeah. I don't make the rules. The only issue is I have a really long view distance. No, we're gonna go kill him, and then we can go to the dungeon we were gonna go to. But we have to kill him first. I have sounds on too, so I will get close enough that we will probably hear the noise that still gives some people nightmares, I know. Hello, Fell Reaver. You never smushed Star, but you will pay anyway. It's for all the lobies. Any lobies trying to level in this area, that was for them. I don't know if it's still as prevalent as it used to be, but I used to get bored and I would come over here and I would sit in Honor Hold and I would destroy people that were camping NPCs or camping lobies, but they weren't like, they were only like 5 or 6 levels higher than the lobies they were murdering. And I would come in on my max level character and just destroy them because they offend. So we need the Blood Furnace. Let's see, is it normal? Pretty sure. I didn't make a note. I should check. Also, this person that we're going to kill can drop 2 dresses. So we are double dipping. Make sure it's not. Normal. Okay. Make sure we're set on normal. We are set on normal. we'll clean out our bags after this run. Oh, that's right. That's right. Wait. Where's our new staff? Our new staff appearance that we just got. Ah, got it. Haha! Man, that is really cool looking, actually. Like, if I did some barbershop changes so that I looked more Eridar with the darker skin, or the more pinkish skin, I should say. And then like did a green robe theme. Yeah, it's super Feltorch. I love that. That's very cool. I'm glad I got that. See, today is already a good day because we got something really, really cool. All right, we gotta kill what's his nuggets? This guy. We don't have to kill the rest of these guys, so but we gotta kill that guy. I think we have to kill those guys to get to him though, so he's like the last guy. But he may be the first guy, and if he's the first guy, then we could just kill him and then leave. No, he's the last one. Okay. So, fun fact, if you're leveling someone through Outland, and I mean now it's a little bit different because the way power leveling works and everything is not exactly the same, but there was a time when you were power leveling, if you were power leveling something through Outland, you did not bring them into this dungeon. That's why you ran ramps over and over, because there are assassins in this dungeon, and if you are not a class with a res, then your friend is dead because the assassins don't notice you. They notice them. And then you have to, like, they have to run back and all this and whatever, and it slows everything down. So you just do ramps. Lots of ramps. I mean, you should do ramps anyway if you use two-handed polearm weapon things, because the Fel Reaver is one of the best appearances in this expansion. Alright, so this guy, we're just gonna kind of go around all this. Weaving through here, and then just go. Leather mail. Go this way, and then go through here. We're not gonna go out of our way to kill anybody, but if anybody tries to touch me, we're gonna kill them, because, like, I try very hard to be fair. I am much stronger than them, so I'm trying to give them a chance. Although, oh wow, why is that worth so much? Wait. Why is that worth so much? Huh. Okay. I was not anticipating that, but alright. I don't really farm transmog in BC though, so that's not surprising to me that I don't know the general price points here. Alrighty. Yeah. Wow, transmog prices for BC transmog have gotten a lot better, I think. It seems like, anyway. Go ahead and kill these guys. This is another place where if you're helping someone level, when they run out, you have to have them stand right behind you, because when the dudes run out, they'll run right for them and murder them. Like that, because they charge. And then as soon as you're done, like as soon as this starts to open, they have to run the other way so that they're not standing between you and the boss, because the boss will nuke them. Not even gonna let you get in here. Don't need all your build up. Legion Blunderbuss. Look at that gun. That is ridiculous. That looks like a gun out of a cartoon. That that literally looks like something a cartoon character would wield, or a like a superhero, like a supervillain, like a supervillain in a bad hero cartoon. That's what that looks like. I love the coloring on that. That's just crazy. All right, we're almost there. Go kill the guy we came to kill. Sell, and then we have to go north because we're gonna go to the Botanica. Because Warp Splinter drops 2 dresses. Yeah, it's got that big axe blade on the end. There's a thing about that. There's a bunch of gun appearances that I've seen in this game that it looks like, oh, well, I ran out of bullets. I'm just gonna slam you in the face with the gun because it's got an axe blade on it. Alright, so... And then we go in here. And if you care about old raids, down below us is Magtheridon. And then this guy. Oh look, I got an achievement because I've never done this dungeon before. Okay. Drop the rope. No, absolutely not. Leather. We're gonna drop more leather. Okay. More than a little rude, but alright. And then we go this way. So that we can get back to the entrance. And here we are. Okay. Yeah, definitely need to filter out some of this stuff. Okay. This person is still here.
Nelly deals for a friend of the Grummles. Like you.
Yeah, I had this conversation with somebody the other day. Like, this is a troll shaman. But I can use his vendors because they are neutral vendors. Like, it's weird. It feels weird. We're not gonna look at the names of what we're selling. We're just gonna look at whether it's soulbound or not, because if I look at the fact that, well, we want to keep that. If I look at the fact that I'm selling things that I need, I'm gonna be sad. So let's see here, and I will deal with BOEs at some point. For right now, we're just selling off the soulbounds. You will see me selling thread and crafting reagents and all of that stuff too, because I just don't, I'm not after any of that, and it's about my strategy is basically, if I don't need to send it off for selling purposes, if it's not like a pet or something like that, then I just sell it. It just gets vendored along with everything else, because I will never vendor pets, but I will vendor basic crafting materials because I can always go out and get them. Of course, that mentality is what leads to me being like, why don't I have any of this? This is a super common thing. Why don't I have any? And then I don't have any because I sell it every time I get it. It's fine though. Oh, that one hurts though. Selling that iron foe hurts. That is painful. Try not to sell schematics either. So let's do that. Okay.
Many farewells.
So now we need to go north. We need to go north because we are after something in the Tempest Keep area. I do not need to run the Eye. I already have Kael'thas's bird. Giant bird of fire. I have this bird, so... And there's a pet. There's many pets that drop in there. I have all of those pets as well, so... We will see if I can do this. I remember doing this before, just flying across the twisting nether and not getting murdered slash fatigued. There we go. This is Nether Storm. I actually really like this zone. It's very interesting. You don't spend a lot of time in this zone, really, for the most part. And before the squish and the way the scaling works, most of the time you finished in Outland before you ever got to this zone. So there are many things that, appearances and stuff like that, that are less common from this zone. So we are looking for the Botanica. So this is the Mechanar over here. The Botanica is over there, and then above that is Arcatraz, the prison, and then in the middle is the Eye. So we will see if we can be successful. Warp Splinter drops 2 dresses. And then we will we will portal to Shatrath for transition to our next area. Okay. Alright, this is the guy we need, so of course he's at the end. You can see, because of all the things, I know all of the appearances except the leggings from the boss right before Warp Splinter, and then the 2 dresses from Warp Splinter. It's a very handy add-on. You can just scroll over and it'll tell you if you haven't learned appearances from them. We're gonna be pretty proactive about our Arcane Explosion in here. Some of the places in here, the patrols are very tight, so it's very easy to pick up a bunch of junk that's following you around. So we want to go this way. And then we'll do this. And then we go this way. And you'll notice I am checking the map because I don't come in here that often. Like, I don't come in here for time walking really, and I don't really come in here that often. So it's best to just make sure we know where we're going. And then this is the boss having a pep talk. I will say that the market for PoE jewelry has actually gotten a lot better, only because the way that scaling works now, a piece actually will carry you farther than it used to. Which I do find to be interesting. Where are we at? Oh, yeah. Go there. Really? I have one similar, so that's okay. And shoes don't matter to me. With the exception of my druid, pretty much all of the characters that I play all the time are Draenei, which means most shoes don't show. They show as ankle warmers to match the rest of your outfit. It was in Bifa, I think, was the first time I saw the appearance of the shoes that are almost like an overlay that goes over your hoof. That was in Bifa, I believe, the first time I saw that. And those look good if you're doing an outfit that is similar. And those will match with. They do look good, even on the females. But I'm very picky about my appearances, so. As is evident by the fact that I'm having a 3-hour stream hunting for dresses. Yep, and then we go this way. Yeah, I'll have to do some digging. There's some good prices. Alright, you really want to fight. Oh, big coughing fit. Time for water. Drink water. Reminder, drink water. Ah, much better. Okay. So, we're going to kill this boss, even though we could skip him. We're going to kill him because he has an appearance we don't have. It has an appearance we don't have. We did not learn the appearance we don't have. So much, I love the fact that I'm not bringing, I don't have the druid, and I'm getting nothing but leather. It feels insulting. Alright. Now, this boss can drop 2 different dresses. I just drop one of them. Like, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be either one in particular, just drop one of them. Okay. We got one of them! Yes! Ah, that's amazing! Okay. Shatrath. And then we're gonna put our new dress on. Finally! We have gotten a dress today! Ah, so many dresses on the list! We've finally got one today! So now I can modify my list that this tree only has 1 dress left. Fantastic. Here we are. Let's... Oh, wrong one. Need the one. Aha! new dress is, let's see here, warp infused drape. So there it is. I love this one. Actually, I was really hoping one of these would drop today. The one from Thessarian is like this. It's just in a different color scheme. So I really enjoy this particular look. So I'm glad one of these dropped today because I really wanted one. Man, robes look so good on Draenei. Okay. We're gonna go this way. We are still doing good in the inventory department. So our next stop is going to be Zanger Marsh. Now, I have a history with Zanger Marsh. On my main, I decided that I wanted to grind out the Cenarian rep in this zone. And at the time, oh, and the Sporagar. And at the time, the only way you could really get the materials to turn in for rep for Cenarian and for Sporagar was to run the dungeons underneath the lake over and over and over again. And so I ran Underbog specifically, which we are doing Underbog. I ran Underbog. I can't tell you how many times I ran Underbog. A lot. I ran Underbog a lot. And because I ran Underbog a lot, I don't know. I go in there and I'm just like, it's like, I get the items that were drops that I used to farm for rep, and I'm like, it hurts my heart because they're gray now. Coilfang armaments are gray, so it wounds me a little bit. But that's okay. But yeah, I don't go back into these dungeons very much because that was back in Wrath, I think. It was Wrath or Kata, and now I just don't ever come over here. Which, but I mean, apparently I am because, you know, there are appearances I don't know because that was before, that was before transmog. That was before that was a thing. Kind of make our way down through here. And then we will do, I have to do Underbog, and I have to do Steam Vault. So we will actually probably we'll do Underbog first. Raptor form. I have Raptor form in my shaman. Okay, so this is the Underbog. The Underbog is full of creatures and not Naga. Steam Vault, Naga, Underbog creatures. Kind of how you would determine which wing you were trying to go in. If I'm farming for Sporagar, then I'm going to go for creatures. If I'm farming for Cenarian, I would go for Naga. So, because in here, and you can still get them because there's one right here. These Sanguine Hibiscus. This is what you need for turning in for rep with Sporagar. You get a lot of them actually if you run this instance over and over and over again. And they make a very good turn in. Mm. But part of the issue with this particular instance is that there's so much trash. And it's everywhere. You have to be careful if you're a herbalist. You'll get kind of tied up in trying to herb all of the dead bodies. Slip past all that stuff. And then we kill Hungerfin, who has appearances I don't know, so it's always a bonus. The dress is on the last boss. Because of course it is. There we go. Game wanted to make sure I learned that cloth appearance, so it gave me 2. I'm fine with that. Oh, I will say, for anyone who's wondering that plays, the sounds that happen when I learn something, or that chime that happens when I pick something up and it's worth something, well, that is from Ludipricer, but the happy noises that happen when I learn an appearance, that's from all the things. All the things will tell you by playing a sound, which is good because half the time I can't notice that I actually learned something from the chat. I'm still trying to run forward and kill things, so you have to play sounds to catch my attention. It's good that this is a quest for the dress day. I'm very tired today. It's a sleepy kind of day. Sleepy Wednesday. I don't know what that is, but it's a very sleepy Wednesday. Good day to just relax. I have some work I need to do, but not too much work today, and I can just kind of unwind with all of you, stream some WoW, and then we can, I can play on my own time. I have a bunch of different things that I'm playing. I mean, I play all sorts of games, so I have some I haven't started yet that are on the list. I'll get to them. And I've started knitting a blanket. I need to spend some time working on it, but I've started knitting a whole blanket, which is it's an insane kind of project, really, because it's huge. I had to order because I do knitting. Nothing fancy. Um, but a very good friend of mine taught me the basic fundamentals of knitting, and it's something that I can do in my spare time. Are you coming or what? Where did you go? You know, oh, there you are. So slow. Oh my goodness. Um, if you do knitting or anything like that, as a reference point for that particular blanket, I had to buy longer cables for my joined needles, and I cast on 200 stitches. It's the first time in my entire life I've used stitch markers. It's a lot. I will probably finish it by next winter. It's a very lightweight, so it can be used most seasons, and it's a rainbow yarn that's really pretty. But yeah, no, I'm a very ambitious person when it comes to crafting and other things. Unfortunately, it does lead to me having many works in progress, but I feel like that's the life of a crafter, really. I mean, like, even somebody who crafts and sells their work, you always have something. You always have at least 1 or 2 projects that are not quite finished, and then you get distracted by something else, and then you're working on that, and oh, that first project yeah, I should finish that first project, and then you go back to it and you work on it for a little while, and then it gets distracted again. I mean, maybe that's just me. But it's definitely something that I run into, and I run into it in video games as well. But with video games, it's harder because, like, if I'm knitting a blanket and then I put it down and I don't pick it back up for a month, and I used stitch markers and I know what the basic idea of the blanket was, you know, I can just go back to it. I can just go back and pick it up or whatever. Even if it's been 3 months, it's been 6 months. If it's a scarf, it's still a scarf. But if it's a video game and I got distracted and I didn't finish it and it's been like 6 months and I have no idea where I am and no idea what's going on in the story at this point because I've done a bunch of other stuff, I have to start it over. So there are games that I've never finished that I've had for years because I keep restarting them because I don't finish them fast enough to not be distracted by something else. It's a constant struggle. All right, Black Stalker. Black Stalker drops a dress. So we're going to see if the Black Stalker gives us a dress. Oh, I guess I haven't done the underbog on this character before. Okay. Well, we didn't get a dress, but we did get a belt. That's not terrible to get a belt. I believe, yeah. You can go this way and get out pretty easily. And then that will take us to Steam Vault, and then we'll go and handle a bunch of Naga. And then we can move on to the real meat and potatoes of Outland, which will probably have just enough time to run the whole thing. And that would be Black Temple. We are doing a Black Temple run today. I'm gonna get a Warglaive drop on my mage, and it's gonna make me infuriated. It's gonna be great. No. Alright, so... yeah. Then we want this one. This one is Steam Vault. We do not want slave pins, we want Steam Vault. It's, you know, it's easier for these kind of instances to remember which one is which when you're low level and you're leveling and whatever, and you can't get into an instance because you're not high enough level for it. When you're high enough level to get into everything, it's, yeah. Oh, well, no, see, that's... I've actually gotten... Okay, so I've gotten 2 Warglaives, right? I have gotten a Warglaive on my Death Knight, and then I got a Warglaive on my Paladin that is not the same as the one I got on my Death Knight. So I got the mate to my Death Knight's Warglaive on my Paladin, who cannot equip it. It will not let my Paladin, it does not count for my Paladin because she cannot equip it. It is still in her bank because it offended me to the point where I was like, I'm keeping this forever. But yeah, she can never wield it, and that means that she can never learn the appearance. Well, I mean, you can't learn appearances at legendaries anyway. She can't get credit. I can't get that achievement from my Paladin. Has to be from my Death Knight, or I guess my Demon Hunter now, because I do have a Demon Hunter. She's only level 50. She's never been to Black Temple, I'm pretty sure. I mean, she's a baby character, so I would be shocked if she had been to Black Temple. Okay. We want to go this way. Yeah, I mean, that's not... I mean, I think that the reason, and I mean, the reason is, of course, that there are very few classes in the game that can actually dual wield a weapon, right? So, you've got your DKs, you've got your demon hunters, you've got enhancement shamans, uh, monks maybe? I know the ones I know are the ones I have, right? So, it makes sense that, oh, we gotta go this way because we gotta, oh no, I did the thing. I did the thing that everybody does when they come in here. We gotta go back. We gotta go back to where you killed her because we have to click the panel. If we don't click the panel, the door is not gonna open and we're not gonna be able to get to the warlord. This is one of those things that you don't remember necessarily. You have to be interactive because the door that's straight ahead where we were, it will open when the panels have been clicked, and it always happens that I get to the other guy, I click his panel, and then I'm like, why doesn't the door open? Because you have to come over here and go just like that. Because you gotta shut that off. I like to think that the fact that I forget things makes me more human. And then I forget that I had that thought in the first place and feel anxious because I forget things. Yay, anxiety. So yeah. How's everybody doing today? I feel like it's a pretty good day. Even though it's kind of sleepy, you know? It's still a pretty good day. Sun's not really out as much today here. It's kind of cloudy. It's been a little chillier, but it's kind of comfortable. It's that comfortable temperature where you don't need a hoodie, but you also probably shouldn't be wearing a tank top. For me, it's t-shirt weather. But I used to stand outside and in nothing but a t-shirt and shorts in the winter in 30-degree weather just to prove a point when I was in middle school. I feel like there are many things that people do to prove a point when they're in middle school. I think that's that time period when a lot of what you do is to prove a point, whether it's comfortable for you or not. Oh dear. Oh, here's all the lepers. And here's the leper king over here. There we go.
I'm out of range.
Okay. Speaking of shaman. Now the door should be open so we can kill Warlord, what's his face? And then not get a dress because the dresses have been stingy. Although we did get a really fantastic dress. So at least we got one. It was one that I really wanted too, so that's good. Go over here. And now this door is open. All these people, Naga people hanging out in here. We can just kind of walk our way through here.
You think yourselves worth.
He's gonna talk to me for a minute, and then I'm gonna kill him. And I'm gonna get an achievement. Yay. Well, let's see here. So, in order to see that, we have to... Yeah, So let's put on that vest because then we can go. Ah, so we got a skirt. I mean, it's called a kilt, so I was expecting something sort of similar. Oh, that's actually not bad. I can probably find some really nice matching chest piece for that. Oh, okay. So now we can actually port to Shat again because we're done here. And then we can go from there to the Black Temple. Well, we'll empty our bags and we will mail off all of our BOEs because our bags need to be empty for Black Temple. It's another place where there's a lot of trash that is kind of unavoidable, quote unquote. Why do I have a turn in with the... Okay. Let's see. So, first we sell.
I have many lucky do's.
And there's a part of me that's like, well, should we really like spend so much time doing inventory management on stream? And the answer is I have to because my inventory makes me crazy. It's one of the things that I get very twitchy about, my inventory. And I will just be happier if my inventory is under control. So that's what I take care of. Actually, not made a whole lot of money today. This runs are not super lucrative, but that's only because we're not cranking them out as fast as we possibly could, only because some of them are very long and there's a lot of travel time. That's why I don't usually do this kind of thing on my druid, because my maid has a lot more versatility when I have to travel. I need to stop selling these. When I have to travel between many distances over a short amount of time. Okay, so this is all... Okay, that's... stuff mixed in with that. That's okay. Get rid of that. That... Oh, an arcane tome. No, that's all rep stuff. Don't necessarily need it, but that's fine.
May your feet find good trails.
Have never done any sort of rep stuff with Star in this vicinity, but you do not need to do any rep stuff to use their mailboxes. I also have a mailbox. Oh, that would be a good way to show this off, actually. Okay. So, if you don't know, in Legion Dalaran, there is an item, or in Legion, there is an item that you can get. I may have one. I think I passed it on. There may be one still floating around somewhere. That is, it starts a quest, and when you do that particular quest, when you finish it, you get an achievement, and you get a toy, and it's called Katie's Stamp Whistle, because you work with Katie's Stamp Whistle. And it has a cooldown, but if you summon Katie, then she's a mailbox. She's a lot like a Molly for an engineer, but I'm not an engineer, so I actually have Katie favorited on my toy list because I find her to be very, very handy. Now, if you're camping the black market auction house or something like that, then Katie's not going to be as effective just because of the length of the cooldown. But yeah. Oh, gray coiled fang armaments. My heart. That can actually go to. Okay.
Very good.
Okay, so that's going to put us very few things in our inventory. Right. Okay. go to Black Temple. Black Temple. Big raid. Illidan at the top. How many times we gotta kill Illidan? We didn't even kill Illidan. I don't even know. He's out there, but not actually out there. Oh, fun fact, and I'm not gonna go close enough to actually see it, but one of my least favorite things in the entire game is in this zone in Terracar Forest. Over... I believe it's in this vicinity over here. There's a giant spider in this zone called the Terracar Tarantula. And it's actually the worst. And I hate it. It's just revolting. But it's big. It's a huge spider. And it is my least favorite thing in BC. Honestly. I think I have done the quest line that involves killing the Terracar Tarantula exactly once on my main tune when I was doing Lore Master. And that's it. We don't go over there where the spider is other than that. Yeah, and I saw someone was working on Lore Master. I need to work on doing some cleanup under the Lore Master achievements, but I actually got the original Lore Master and Seeker in Wrath of the Lich King back before they did the Cata revamp. I had to use an add-on. It was called Quest Helper to give me the most effective way to find all of the quests and complete all of the quests. And it took forever. And it's one of those things I'm really proud of because after the Cataclysm Squish, it is easier to get Lore Master in Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. And I'm proud that I did that before that was a thing. I am not looking down on anybody who does it after the squish because holy crap, how many years was Cata ago? So that's a little bit elitist. And I am not that person. But I'm proud of myself that I set out to do something that was complicated and managed to achieve that. So much fire, all of the burning. Fell, poisonous fell, lots of nasties. I don't think that this is going to take all of the time that I have left, but it's going to take a hot minute, especially because I can easily find out. I don't believe that I have brought Star to Black Temple. It's very possible that I have, but I don't think that I have, question mark. Burning Crusade. Black Temple. Yes, I did do that, but that was back in 2016. So, let's see. Black Temple over here. And now we go inside. Okay. Yeah, and I have the same thing for the Charger, the Paladin Charger, because I did the quest. I did the Charger quest. So it's one of those weird things that on the one hand, as a player who is pretty casual about some things and pretty not casual about other things, I take a great deal of pride when I'm able to do something complicated or difficult. But I also know many people and have seen many people that they take that pride and they turn it into scorn for anybody who's not doing that difficult thing. It's actually one of the big tenets of my gaming and my channel that I don't care about difficulty levels. Um, 9 times out of 10, I will put the game I am playing on the easiest difficulty, because when I am playing a game, nine times out of 10, like I said, I'm not playing for something that's super challenging. That's not why I'm playing a game, to challenge myself. I'm playing to enjoy the story. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't do challenging things, because I do. Like, as a current expansion reference, and I know some of you don't play WoW, and I am way out in the weeds right now, but that's okay. As a current expansion reference, I've done all 8 layers of Twisted Corridors. I have the Maw mount. I did that. It was 25 hours-ish worth of work, and I did that, and it was hard. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in the game. So I do those things. But most of the time, especially if it's a game I'm not as good at, yeah, totally setting it on easy. I don't have a problem with setting it on easy. Like when I play Fallout and games like that, I always set it on easy because I like feeling overpowered and I like blowing things up. Yeah. Because I still make mistakes and I still get myself killed even when I'm overpowered. So, I basically am giving myself a little bit of a leg up so that I can actually finish the game. Yeah, and it's more, people are more accepting of that than they used to be in the design world. I mean, you definitely have your games that are super hard, right? But then you have games, I can mount up here actually. Then you have games like StarCraft 2, like when they came out, I know I'm saying like a lot. That's a thing. When they came out with Wings of Liberty, it has... Oh, I got the pet. This is a really good pet, by the way. Abyssius is a really good pet. They have a difficulty on StarCraft 2 that it's like story mode. It's easier and specifically designed to be that way so that you can experience the story if you're not good at real-time strategy games. And I'm not good at real-time strategy games. Like, I played all of StarCraft and Brood War, but I used codes so that I wouldn't die all the time. Because I didn't care about the actual gameplay, I just wanted to see the story. Which, I know that that's part of what shaped my philosophy for deciding to try out streaming and YouTube. Because as a player, I don't necessarily have enough time to play every game that I would love to play. And some games that I really love to watch, I can't play them. They're too hard. Like, my brain can't wrap around the controls or something. A game that's really popular right now because the new expansion for it just came out is The Binding of Isaac. I can't play that game. I've tried. It does not go well. It is... Oh, that's offensive. It is just really difficult, and I'm not going to frustrate myself. But I love watching people play that game because I find it fascinating. I love watching people play Dark Souls games and Bloodborne because I find it fascinating. I would never play those games because I don't play games that make me angry on purpose.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Ooh, got a little
1.
soapboxy there for a second. Yeah, it's just I like to play things that are very chill. So I find watching other people play games to me is a lot more fun when it's talking about games that are complicated and or hard enough that I do not feel successful, and or I do not feel like it's fun when I am trying to play them. There we go. I'm getting so many leather pieces. And plate. Let me just say, I ran this a lot on my paladin to get pets, because there are pets in this raid. I don't know how there's so much plate that I don't know. I don't understand that. That is confusing. It's definitely... You know, I don't mind. Honestly, I would be more worried about so many bosses to kill, but, like, especially for transmog purposes, there's definitely still things I can learn in here. But yeah, I need to, like, come in here and clear on my Demon Hunter, on my Death Knight, on somebody who, if I get glaive drops, it's not gonna make me, full of salt. But if I do that, then, like, this dress that drops in here, there's a couple of them. I just wouldn't be able to get access to those. Although running it on my Demon Hunter would actually be better, because there's a lot of leather gear that I could learn, and if I ran it on the Druid, then there are negatives. One of them comes from Terran. We don't actually technically have to clear the entire raid, and we probably won't, because I only need... Wait. Hold on. This is why we have a list. Also, it's 3 o'clock. Drink water. Yay. So, looking at this list... Terran, Gorefiend... Yes, so we only need to kill Gorefiend and Bloodboil. We're probably only going to kill Terran, Gorefiend and Bloodboil. And then... Yeah, then we'll do that. Okay. Okay. So I will go ahead and take... I'll go ahead and ask this question now, so that I can get some answers, some feedback on this. The other dresses that I have on my list are a little bit scattered out, and they don't necessarily have any rhyme or reason to them, other than... No dress. Other than the, which one is that? The trolls, either a couple of troll instances that have dresses. So I will put it to my loyal viewers. Should I go and do random dresses for the last bit of time that I have, or should I go to Molten Core and kill all the bosses, because there is a zone drop dress in Molten Core, and then there are mage appearances that I don't have in Molten Core. It's basically go to Molten Core and spend the rest of the time doing that after I kill Bloodboil. Or it's Zul'Farrak, Zulamon, Shadowfang Keep, maybe? Yes. So, a little bit more random. Kind of more traveling than actually getting drops. So, I'm curious as to what people think about that. I'm pretty easy either way. That is true. And I very rarely go up to Zulamon, actually, because I have the bear, so I never need to go to Zulamon, but I mean, of course, there are appearances. So, let's see here. Now we need to go cross. Let's see. Oh, and Wailing Caverns. That was the other one that I had on the list. Wailing Caverns is like Blackrock Depths. Wailing Caverns is an investment. Um, it's not as bad as it used to be? Question mark? But still a very long dungeon. Still a very long dungeon. I think, yeah, we could do some troll dungeons. Let me tell you what, it's hilarious to me that one of the dresses I want is in Zul'Farrak, because Zul'Farrak is where I farm transmog for selling, because you can get glorious pieces in Zul'Farrak, and I have done hour cap, all 10 run Zul'Farrak runs on my mage over and over and over again. I am shocked that there's anything in that dungeon from a boss that I can still learn. Just because of how many times I have done Zul'Farrak. Oh wait, what am I doing? We don't need to kill this. We have these pets. Blood boil. We need blood boil. Don't let me get distracted, y'all. I'll get distracted and run off and start killing things I don't need to kill. We just need to kill blood boil. That's all.
It's too far away.
I think I might have to sneeze. But I'm not sure. I promise that I will mute myself if I sneeze. But I might need to sneeze. I don't know. My nose itches. Let's see. I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time working on this character's gear, because I do enjoy running around on the mage, and we can actually farm some later expansion stuff. Legion, possibly some beef. I do still need to do her class hall campaign. Maybe we could do that next week. Start with the AQ kill, because we will be farming that dress from AQ until we die. And then do the some mage class hall stuff in Legion. I might do the starter stuff, because I know some of it is waiting around on tables, which is not as interesting. Oh yeah, blood boil. Give me. No. Okay. Fine. So rude. Alright, we are going to... If we're going to Zulamon... Yes. I think... the best way to get to Zulamon is possibly going to be going through the Isle. Because getting into Ghostlands is always... like, I can just fly to Zulamon, but even from Ironforge or something, it's just a really... Wait! I am a mage! Alright, I might die. This is gonna be... Wait, if I go in on a flying mount... If I go in on a flying mount, then I shouldn't die. Okay, where's the portal? We need, well, even as a mage, I forget that this is a really good way to get to the top of Eastern Kingdoms as long as you compensate for the fact that if you don't compensate for it, you will die. We accidentally used teleport instead of portal, so we didn't mount up first. We're gonna hope that Featherfall, we can get Featherfall off. Okay, we're good. I live! Maybe. Because I popped it a little early. But it's okay. Look. I was successful in not murdering myself. That is what counts here. We're just gonna... No, see, we're good. Slowly drift down to the ground. Boop. Perfect! And now, we're in the top part of Eastern Kingdoms. We're still not... It's not great, but it's certainly better than all the way down here. So... Oh, you know what? Actually, since we're going to Zul'Aman, one of my things was Shadowfang Keep. We can actually do that first. We can go to Shadowfang because what's his nuggets? Looks like the last guy has a staff that I can use, or not a staff, a dress, because always dresses. See, I see Undercity burning over there. We're not gonna go over there. I also think it's funny that there's an appearance I'm missing from Shadowfang Keep, because let me tell you about how when you're leveling little baby characters and you queue up as anything that wears cloth, when you first queue up, when you can queue up at 15, this is basically the first dungeon that it dumps you in. Basically the first instance that you're dumped in is Shadowfang Keep. So I've done this dungeon a lot. This is one I have done a great deal. Alright. I don't think I've ever done it on a mage, though. Well, no, even leveling. I did try to level a mage through here at one point. Fun fact, I boosted this mage. Because I would get to level 40 or level 50 and free squish. So, halfway-ish. I would get about halfway, and then I was like, I can't stand this. This is a terrible leveling experience, because it's my own fault, because everybody's like, oh, level is frost, or level is fire, you know, whatever. And I don't like frost, and I don't like fire. I like arcane. Also, I was wrong. It's not the last boss. We just need to kill this guy. Give me a dress. Well, look at that! They gave me 2 of it. But it's only dropped. Fabulous. So now, we can go outside, and we can change our dress again. Because we got another drop. 2 drops in one day that I was gunning for. What is this madness? Utter madness. Okay. Hey. Go over here. Hit this button. Our new dress. Let's see. It's going to be a little bit deeper because it is older. It is this one. A little bit more boring. Ooh, why do we have our belt showing? Gross. A little bit more boring. A little bit more covered up than I usually like, but I like that it's got the detailing, especially around the sleeves, the cuffs of the sleeves and the shoulders. So it looks very goth fancy, which I enjoy. So, alright. And now we can go to Zul'Aman. I'm glad I remembered that Shadowfang was over here. It is on the list of randomness, so let's see. I'm gonna do a Zul'Aman, and then, I mean, it's good that I'm a mage because Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna go from Zulaman, which is basically at the top of the Eastern Kingdoms, to Zul'Farrak, which is at the bottom of Kalimdor. So, Theramore portal. Thank you. Although I don't... No, I think my Theramore is still intact. You basically have to do the quest line for your Theramore to change. And it's been changed on my palette in a really long time. I always forget. And because I go there most often with my mage. And so I forget that you can, you know, do it in other ways. I don't think I've come over here since all that happened. I didn't remember that the town of Brill basically got torched. Oh, could go do Scarlet Monastery. Scarlet Monastery, the dungeon that everybody has done a million times if they power leveled during certain expansions, because you just did Scarlet Monastery runs over and over and over and over again. Cathedral, specifically. Go in, gather up all the mobs, pull them back to the door, have your friend wait inside, gather them all up together, and nuke them. I will end up running this dungeon for Transmog or something, like Sholomont's, but this dungeon makes me sad, because when they modified it, because they went through, when they did the revamp and some other things, they modified a bunch of the dungeons to make them easier to understand, like the flow of them, or shortened them, so they wouldn't be quite as long and arduous. But I loved this dungeon. I loved the original version of it. I spent a lot of time running that and Stratholme for Runecloth when I was selling Runecloth on the auction house for rep. I think the original version of Sholomont's is far superior to the version that exists now. And that's my one piece of rose-colored glasses, whatever. That, and I'm addicted to Wrath. And when they release the Wrath servers, for classic type servers, they release the Wrath servers. That's all I'll play on this stream, because I love Wrath. That's not true, but I will play Wrath on this stream. So, I don't know. Sometimes I'm very much of the opinion of, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And it didn't really feel broken to me, but I know that that's my personal opinion, and the way that the game is handled, designed, and progressed is not based on my personal opinion. So, you can't get mad about that kind of stuff. You can just wish that it was different. Alrighty. Go over here to the entrance to the Ghostlands. Could have theoretically grabbed a flight path closer and just flew to Zul'Aman, 'cause I'm pretty sure I have that flight point, but we're already here. So, and if we don't have the flight point, then we'll get it while we're over here. Let's see, who do we need? She steers with her mouse while she looks at her list. Who do we need from... Okay. And then Zul'Farrak. I had one other... I have one other one that I could theoretically work on at some point. It definitely wasn't going to be today. It's from Heroic Syndragosa in Icecrown Citadel. I have run Icecrown Citadel more than any other dungeon or raid in this game. I have the legendary on my paladin. I am working on the legendary on my death knight. I have almost every single appearance, especially for plate. I have all of the pets. And I have invincible. I have the Lich King's horse. I ran for years to get it, but I have it. So I'm always afraid to run ICC and actually run the whole thing, like for my Death Knight and stuff like that, because if I run the whole thing and RNG thinks it's a funny joke to drop invincible for me again, I would feel horrible. It's actually why I don't run Stratholme. And I don't kill the Lich King unless someone else is with me. Because if the Baron's mount dropped, or Invincible dropped, or Ashes of Alar dropped, and somebody else wasn't with me, like, I would feel bad. I would genuinely feel bad. And some of those things you can't trade them, but... Oh, hi, Vol'jin. Oh. We stand Vol'jin on this channel. We love Vol'jin. Love Vol'jin. Alright, we do have this flight point. That is good to know. It means I've been here at some point on this character. For what reason, I have no idea. But we have been here on this character. That's what that means. Gross. Somebody needs to take a torch and burn up all these spider webs. Alright. Oh, have you never done Zul'Aman? So, I have to turn it to heroic, because Zul'Aman is heroic. If you've never done Zul'Aman, it is good to know... Hold on here. Let me go all the way back. There's actually a mount in Zul'Aman, and it is a bear. The Amani Warbear. I do not need to do that achievement. It is an achievement. But if you are available at some point when you're not busy, I can very easily walk you through that achievement. I won't necessarily be able to do it this time. I don't think... Let me see what I have to... So I have to... You know, I may actually... I probably could actually, because I have to kill Dakara for the robe that I want. So... Yeah. So yeah, it's something that, make sure you send me a message. Send me a message in game. And I can walk you through that. It's very easy at max level. It's incredibly easy. And it's a free mount. Where is it? I can actually mount. It's the Amani Battle Bear. Looks like this. You actually fight some of them in this instance. And there are bosses and they have prisoners. And you have a certain amount of time to release those prisoners. And then when you free the last one, she has a bag that she leaves on the ground. And when you grab the bag, it loots the bear. And then you get the bear. We need to... Should come over here. This is the worst part of the whole instance, by the way. Trying to hit the gong at the same time as Vol'jin. Because his timing and my timing, and you have to like... So you gotta have to kind of wait and then see if he's moving. And it's very fussy. I don't want... Wait! That's gonna give us a robe. That's gonna give us a dress. Ooh. Oop. We're gonna take that quest. Okay. should have gotten it. That was like on it. Okay. Aha! I do like the fact that we're gonna get a dress for killing the boss too. Alright. Alright, so
The spirit's gonna feast today. Begin the ceremonies.
So, time until sacrifice, 15 minutes.
Make room for our new guests.
We are running through here. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff chasing us. We don't really care. We're gonna book it. Uh-huh. Come get me. Oh, that's right. I went too fast. So you have to kill these people. You can't you have to actually kill them. And I always forget, so. But the good thing about being max level and being able to mount up in this instance is that you can easily, you still have plenty of time if you make a mistake. Because you have to kill this guy so that he can yell about how there's invaders coming. And that will cause these people to spawn. And then you kill them. Just like that. And now see, there's all these people that I killed before. They're all back alive again. And now the Tempest, you can attack the Tempest. And then you have the bird. This fight was terrible at times. So, let's kill that. And then, you have to come over here to the side. And now the time until sacrifice is 18 minutes because we spent 2 minutes doing that. And then we will say, you are free. Out you go. And they were like, hey, do you want a reward? Here's a reward. And I'll give you some gold. So that's one.
You're gonna fail, strangers. Many try before ya, but they only make us stronger.
Now the cross is gonna yell some more. We don't care. We go across the way to where the bears are. We can skip all of this. And we get to... Oh, excuse me. Get to here. Bear avatar. He notices us. He's mad. We kill his guards. We get an Amani hex stick. Fun fact, there is a mount, or excuse me, there's a pet in this instance called Mojo. And the only way that you can get it is if you uncurse the frogs that are down by the water with Amani hex sticks. I have that particular pet. It was a pain to get. I know people that don't have it, so I'll probably not be farming for it on this particular stream in this moment, but I do like to try to get extras of pets like that are super fussy, because then I can give them to my friends, and it's important to share the things that you love, and I love pets. So Nalarak, he is now deceased. We learn an appearance from cloth boots. There it is. We run over here, and we have 21 minutes now, because you gain time every time you release one of the hostages. That was the only way to do it when it was current. You had to be as fast as you can, because you would get that extra time. So now this guy's free. Do you have something for me? I mean, you're gonna unlock your trunk. I'm only taking these because I can't remember if they're all gold or if there's gear, which may give me appearances. Yeah. Okay. Take that. Lo and behold, wrist appearance. This is why we open all the things. Because I mean, we have the time. We have the time to wait for them to open the box. We run this way. These scouts were the bane of my existence when I was running this, when it was current. The scouts were such a pain. You had to CC the scouts. You had to work really hard to make sure they did not reach the gongs. Because when they brought their friends, then their friends were so horrible and not even worth trying to fight with them, because it was always startling when someone moved when they shouldn't and you saw the scout yell, because you were like, oh no, oh, where is it, where is it? You're frantically looking for the scout to make sure that it doesn't ring the gong and summon all of their terrible friends. Okay, we go this way, take care of that. Person we have to let out is right here at the bottom of the stairs. Dragon Hawk aspect also was a really hard fight. Learned shoulder appearances, amazing. And now we will go down.
How you doing, man?
We will release you.
Tazdingle.
I believe things are over here. Oh. Yep. Almost done with the mount. So yeah, no, it's like it's really very simple now. I mean, when it was current, it was actually a nightmare. Oh, wow. Really? Ugh. Such a good axe. Fine. Give me more things to come over here and look for. That's fine. Now we gotta go down. We go across. We ignore these guys again because now we're across the river. This area was always really dangerous because these lynxes hit really hard, and once you get over toward the entrance to where the boss is, there are invisible ones that would just come out of nowhere and just shank you. It was just a crapshoot, and somebody would always randomly die to the lynxes. The tank would die. One of the DPS. As a healer, it was usually me. But, yep, all the lynxes would come out and just... super rude. Super rude. It didn't matter. It didn't matter how overgeared you were. It didn't matter how much you had done this instance. When you got near where the stealth lynxes were, somebody in your party was going to die. Oh, that is a very nice leather cata drop. a pretty nice little piece. Oh, I actually like those. Oh, they're fingerless. I really do prefer fingerless gloves. So, oh, we only have 16 minutes until the person gets sacrificed. We should probably do something about that, aka that. Oh, okay. That's an achievement that apparently I've never earned before. All right. And so now we can go over here. We release this prisoner. And you open the door. And then runs around a little bit because kind of been drugged and whatever. Starts blowing up the random stuff in the room. Oh, is it nap day? I feel it. It's a sleepy day. I was talking about that earlier. Very sleepy day. She goes over there and blows something up, and she goes over here and she blows it up, and there's all these piles of gold everywhere. And then when she gets to this corner, she blows up this vase. And this bag has an Amani battle bear in it. That is how you get the bear. Easy peasy. You let them out of the cages when you kill the bosses. And because you're max level, it takes no time at all. And then when you get here, all you have to do is open the bag, and it gives you battle bear. Lickety split. Done deal. And you get an achievement. I did not get the achievement because I already have it. Here it is. So the original time I did this was on 2015, and it's the barely made it achievement. It is an account-wide achievement because Star didn't exist in 2015. I find that. Oh, I have very. This is an annoying achievement. That's why I don't have that achievement, because it's annoying. So I'll end up doing it at some point because I can't help myself. All right, let's go kill this guy. Oh, there's another hex stick. I guess those are still worth money, but I mean, the pet is still rare. They haven't really changed where the pet comes from, so it's not like there's another source. Unless you're buying the pet from the auction house, you have to have hex sticks. I will probably actually send the hex sticks that I have to the person that I know that doesn't have Mojo, because I know that she needs more hex sticks. Alright. This fight also was a nightmare at current. I hate that snake. Alright. And then all these people are gonna come and attack me. Just kind of drag them forward. Drag them forward. This, and then... Alright. A lot of yelling. It's unnecessary. All the spirits. All the Amani spirits. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got it. Amazing. Aw, look, Solo is a bitey boy. So we're gonna do this first because when we turn in, we're gonna get another robe like immediately. So the one that we just got is gonna be the Hexing Robe. So let's do... Aha! So the one that we're getting from Vol'jin
Where your feet find good trail.
is a color variation of this one. I love that he left before I could turn in. Oh, he was up there. Okay. So yeah, this one is the one that we came in here for, and I think this is actually a color variation. Yes, so this one's more red, and this one is green. So since it's the same robe, but it's a variation. No. Rules are rules. Dress is dress. So we want... Ooh. Perfect. Alright. 2 robes out of here. Fantastic. Right, where's my list? Oh, yes. That's right. Theramore. Ooh, we're gonna have to sell again. Don't have to mail, but we do have to sell. Alright, let's go to Theramore. We can go to Zul'Farrak. A dungeon I've probably run more than any other dungeon in this entire game. Because glorious pieces sell really well, and my paladin doesn't have all of them. Also, you should drink water. Water is good for you. Let's sell our trash. Sell off all of our garbage and sort. Oh yeah, we're still good.
Fortune to our friends.
To Zul'Farrak. Now theoretically, we could have... Theoretically, we could have taken... Oh, we could have portaled to Stormwind and taking the portal for the Caverns of Time instead of taking the portal to Theramore. I mean, okay. I personally don't think it's that much difference, but I mean, there is the whole 1,000 needles thing, but... I always thought it was a shame that the higher areas of the game, you can fly, right? So you've got all these mountains that are way up high, and they had to have known that they were going to have flying in the game. So I just wish there was more life in the upper parts of the world, especially in later expansions, because it makes sense. And there was some of that in Legion. I can think of a specific example because there's a other than treasures and stuff like that, there was a battle pet that you had to go, and at that point I couldn't fly. You had to climb up this huge like hillside, and then there were 2 or 3 different variations of battle pets and critters, and you had to kill other battle pets in order to find the rare one. I know a few people who don't have that one yet because it took hours. I had to kill a lot of other spawns, and I don't like doing that because as a battle pet hunter, the first time I hunt down a battle pet, I capture any rarity of it that I can. I am not I'm gonna kill all of them until I get a rare rarity, because I can go do that later at some point. So I don't like killing all the battle pets just in case somebody comes by and they need to tame it. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can understand that for like classic, but even then, not necessarily. Like, as soon as there was the idea that there should be flight in the game, which is why I'm like, they could have fixed it in the Cata revamp. As soon as they got the idea that there was going to be flight in the game, they should have put more life in the mountains, because they're going to be seen. Alright, so We'll do some smaller pulls here at the beginning because there are a lot of casters, but we will do some pretty big pulls for Blackrock. I'm very familiar with how I run this particular dungeon. If I'm gonna get a really fancy drop, this is where it's gonna happen. To kind of get everything's attention. Slap, slap, slapping me. Okay. Kind of just gather it all up. And then do this. And it's going to lag a little bit, because it always does.
I need a target.
Okay. All of these. It's the good thing about the fact that in most dungeons, the trash does not reset. You can just kind of gather it up, and I usually do a big ol' gather through this area. It's just especially for this particular dungeon, it's all about knowing where your line of sight points are, because there are so many shadow casters that if you don't know where your line of sight points are, it's going to take you forever to actually, and I don't have to do all of this, I could just go kill the guy, but like, if I'm here, I might as well make better use of my time. And, yeah. Troll heart, gross. Belt, not bad. That's, oh. It's a plate belt I don't have. Alright. Okay. There are other random trolls running around. I tend to ignore most of them just because if I can't clip it up, then it slows everything down. So, don't need to kill the side boss don't need to kill the side boss really, but we're gonna do it anyway. Usually when I run through here, I just grab the trash and then go out and reset over and over again. Mildly effective. Yeah, lunch has arrived. Tear them to pieces. Yeah, okay. You know, it also, I always forget. Always forget. You can mount up in this instance. I always forget. And we don't kill this guy because he doesn't drop anything. We don't care about him. We don't want to fight beetles. It's so interesting because I've spent so much time like perfecting the way that I do this dungeon. Like we're gonna click these and all the zombies. because the zombies can also drop stuff. So we're here. You would never be able to do this if you were like leveling or something. Like this would be suicide. You can also loot things from the mounds, and that's why the zombies attack you, but it's like, whatever. This guy's friendly until you walk in. Ooh, we got a stick. Alright, what is that? Vexing Cane. Not that good. We'll leave it alone. Sophie has decided that he must look out the window. Which is fine, except that he's got the blinds open really far because he's fat. So, he is blinding me with the light coming in because he's like, I'm fat and I must look out the window and let all of the light into the room to do so. He is so, you know, it's so funny. When he was a little baby, I thought that he was going to be a big cat because he had big feet. And then he grew up and now he is fat. He's a big boy, but he has tiny feet. His feet are tiny. They didn't grow up with him. His feet are still itty bitty feet. Desert Walker Cane. We already had that. We got some leggings. Pretty good. Alright, so there's only a couple of bosses left in this instance. The one we need is up here. Drops all sorts of crazy stuff. 350. Yeah. Oh, that's Mana. Mana is actually dark matter incarnate. Like she's a little butterball, a little fat butterball, and when she walks on you, you feel like you're gonna die because she feels like dark matter compressed into a cat, and then she steps on you, and it's like negative space is being created on your chest. It's the worst. Oh. So, we're almost done for today. I haven't picked out... You go ahead and... Yeah, we have to do something about the trolls. Okay, whatever. This is actually a really great fight to do on a class like a Death Knight or a Paladin that can drop an area of effect kind of thing on the floor. You have to be careful though. It is very possible. It is possible to break this fight if you do it wrong. So, you have to be careful. Oh, the Bad Mojo mask. That's right, I don't have that. I think that's, well, we'll see if I can get it. I will never use it. It is not an appearance that I prefer. But... Okay. Nope. Polearm. Polearm that we don't have, which I'm probably going to come in and get because it just looks like a knife stuck on a stick. Alright, we need to have this person blow the door open for us. And then we need to agitate the rest of them. Because then they're all going to attack me. And I'm going to do that. Thank you. And then the goblin blew up the door. He's going to leave. Okay. Otter, can you not attack the light, please? He just looks at me like I am asking him to do something that is unreasonable. When I'm asking him to not slap the lamp. Not sure why he feels like he needs to slap the lamp, but here we are. Alright. This is going to drop some really cool stuff that I'm not going to be able to learn because this boss drops some really cool stuff and I'm never on the right character for it. So, you know, if I just got the achievement, that means that when I was farming Zulfur Aquastar, I never just came in here and killed him. Which is probably why I don't have the robe. But I also got half of the sword. Which is a pretty cool little sword. But, I mean, that explains it. It just means I need to actually come up here and kill these people when I'm trying to get my Mog stuff together. Okay. Let me look at something real quick. No, we don't want that. We want this. We want this. We want that. Okay. Was just seeing if I knew all of the appearance in stocks, because stocks is really easy and takes 0 time. Okay. Oh, I know what I can do to wrap it up. It's actually pretty close to here, so we'll go a little over, but not too much. For our final thing today, we will go to the Throne of the Four Winds and not get the Drake from Alakir, because, you know, it's impossible to get the Drake from Alakir. Alakir hates me. But that's alright. You know, I don't get offended. Also, that goblin is fighting that troll. We could kill all of these for drops. Could do all of these things. Not doing any of these things. Really? Don't offend me, sir. Thank you. Look, I try not to be a rampant murderer, but sometimes my ability to do so is tested because people will not leave me alone. I do like this robe, though. Has a really interesting appearance. Plus, you know, it's cut properly, because I like to dress my girls as skimpy as possible most of the time. So, although some of the best looks I have in this game are not skimpy. But it's funny because I have a notorious reputation within my guild for how skimpy my paladin is dressed most of the time. Absolutely notorious. My skimpy Mog. So, Violet Spellwing. Going to Uldum. We'll just do this. So I have to figure out what I'm going to play on Friday for our trial Friday stream. I have a few different things that I'm looking at. And then Saturday, we'll be playing Calico, but only for a little bit because we finished the game last week. I mean, for the most part. We have a few more cats to find, and we have a couple more quests to do to get all of the achievements in the game. And then we're going to start a new cat game that I have called Cattails, which is kind of the same feel, but it's more, there's fighting and there's marriage systems. It's like Harvest Moon, but cats. So it looks very interesting. We will look at that on Saturday. But Friday is what we're trying to figure out, because the Friday evening stream will be House Flipper, because House Flipper. Friday during the day, I think, if I remember correctly, this week we're going to do something maybe a little bit different. I have to look at my list. to see exactly what it is that we need to do. Also, the evil has come to the Oldham, so we're gonna try to avoid the worms because the worms will make us slow, and we do not wish that to be the thing. I am also taking recommendations for Free Play Fridays. Just because that is the day that I'll play almost anything, as long as it's it's the type of game that I like to play. I mean, I'm not going to play games that I hate just for views, because that would really be fundamentally against my principles to play things that I absolutely despise just so that people will watch it. Because then I won't have fun. And when I'm not having fun, I don't feel like anybody else is having fun, because it's not comfortable to watch somebody doing something that they're just not having fun at all. Um, I do have some ideas, though. Interesting ideas. So fingers crossed that I can actually figure out what it is I want to do. Oh no. It's okay. Alright, Alec here. Gonna end this on a bang with Alec here. He's gonna deny us what we want, but, you know. We may as well make the attempt while we're over here. Alright. Go this way. Go that way. Hit that. Give us a little bit of boost of speed and go over here. Kill Rohash. Okay, there we go. Go back this way. We have learned all of these appearances, so we're not going to learn any appearances from this. We're just gonna get a whole bunch of stuff to vendor. And then we'll go this way. Bop. And I can fly even though it didn't launch me, because we skipped that step. Okay, here we go. Let's not get them out, shall we? Okay, so we didn't get them out, but we got a one-handed sword. That's nice. Look how spiky it is. Huh. Okay. Alright. Did I get a tier piece that I can actually... I got a tier piece I can actually use. I didn't need it, apparently. But I did get a tier piece I can actually use. Ooh. So yeah, that actually... That's a pretty good way to end it. Actually, got some stuff. That's pretty cool. Let's go to Stormwind one more time, just so that I'm not... I log back in later and I'm like, why am I sitting in the Throne of Four Winds? Okay. I will probably go and do some dress farming off stream. And then next week, when we have the quest for the dress, with the exception of the AQ dress, because, you know, raid. The dungeon ones, I may do some farming in. And then next week, we'll have a brand new list of dresses for us to go out and try to get. We're going to slowly try to get every single appearance in the game, because I'm insane. But yeah, it's going to be great. So, next stream is Friday, starts at 1 PST. It's going to run until 4 PST, and then we'll have another stream later in the evening. So, feel free to come out and watch if you like. No, I can't. No. So feel free to come and watch if you like. Remember to check me out on YouTube, and I'm going to have some series going up soon. New series other than Cozy Grove. Give me a follow if you like my content. I'm trying to get to 50 followers. The road to 50, we're getting there. We're almost halfway. So tell your friends. If you like what you see, tell your friends. And then maybe your friends will like it too. I have a Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. I have a Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook. Everything you can find under Missy Cat Gaming. So I hope you had fun. I know I had fun. And I will see everybody next time. Have a good day. Bye.